Hello friends, welcome back. We are going to work on our RZT 50, our zero turn mower today. I'm going to do a little basic maintenance on it. I'm going to change the air filter. That's underneath of this cover here. And we're going to change the engine oil. And we're going to hit whatever grease points we can find. Looks like there's some probably on the spindles for the deck. For the blades to go through, and then these have some grease points and probably the wheels. I'm gonna look around a little bit, check the owner's manual, and see if we can get everything going. So we'll start with the air filter. So it's actually pretty basic. You know, this just snaps down on there. It says lift here, and so it just snaps up. Thumb screw. Looks like the people at Kawasaki decided that was a good idea, and it is. Makes it really easy for us to pop the old dirty one off. I think the previous owner told me that was the original one, so it's 4 years old. I don't know if it's really dirty or not, but here's a fresh new one, so we're gonna pop that on here. It looks like it's pretty straightforward. Pop it in and tighten this thumb screw back down for the hose clamp. So, all right. Well, let's get a drain pan together, and it looks like the oil comes out of this little hose right here that comes from the engine block. So I got to go get a couple of wrenches and clean that up a little bit and pop that off and get that. We're going to change the oil. I've ran the motor for maybe 10 minutes or so. Got the oil nice and hot and everything, so I got my drain pan here, and this little hose has this plug in it. So let's see if we can get this out of here. There we go. We'll let that drain for a minute. Pop the dipstick out. It'll help it breathe a little better, so it'll come out a little faster. While that's draining, we can work on getting the oil filter out. See if we can turn it by hand. Yep, there we go. Good. Well, I'll tell you, that is one cute little oil filter, isn't it? We go ahead and get the new one ready. Stopped by the dealer, picked up a Kawasaki. This one takes the where's the part number on this? Oh, here it is right here. 490657007. Oil filter. You know, they looked it up for me. I didn't know right off the top of my head what it was, so I'm gonna get some fresh oil and put a little coating on this gasket right here. I like to run this Rotella 540 engine oil. It's a full synthetic version from Rotella. I've been using it for many years in all of my small engines, and all of them have many hours of operations with it. Never had any trouble at all. So I'm gonna say it's the right oil. Sometimes we run our mowers and things in the wintertime, and the wood chipper in the wintertime, so I like to have that extra protection from the synthetic and the 5 winter weight there. So got our oil filter lubed up, put it back on the threaded shaft in there, tighten it down a little bit. Let's check down here and see if we're done. We're done draining. I would say we're done. It's just barely dripping. So let's wipe that drain plug off real good so that it's any debris isn't caught up in there. Alright, call that good. I found this pulled up out of here and tucked up inside of here. I think they designed this little holder in here to hold the hose up out of the way. It's inside of there, so yeah. One of my favorite funnels are these long Flow Tool brand funnels. They have a nice small end to them, but they're really big, and they have this nice sideways pouring surface here. So if you ever have something like a transmission that you're trying to get that into, you can still get your oil in. But today it'll work just fine up there like that. So I'm not sure how much this takes, but we're going to add a little bit. Check it. Add a little bit. So right now I've got about 2 quarts in here. I know it's going to take at least a quart, so I'm going to pour it down to about here and see if we can get it going like that. I like these new jugs by Rotella too. They've changed all of them over. If you hold your finger right in the middle, the jug stays completely level, so you can easily see how much you've poured out of it. The old jugs weren't exactly designed like that, but this is a nice improvement. That's about a quart in there. Let's check that out. I always like to keep a old waste oil, or not a waste, but just an old container to throw this funnel down in because it drips everywhere. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible around. So let's see what we got here. We're right to the add mark, but we still need to start it up. So let's add a little bit more, and then we'll start it up and try it out. Okay, we're right in the middle. So let's clear everything out, start it up, and see what it looks like. So when you start an engine up like that, you just circulate the oil through the oil filter and around in the engine, and it will lower your oil level. Not considerably, but especially with a filter the size that it is. Let's check it out. Alright, we're below the add line, so let's add a little bit. These small engines like this, I've found it's very, very easy to overfill, so it's better to take your time and go ahead and check it regularly and see where you're at, because it is very easy to overfill. Not as easy to drain it out. Sometimes it is, but why waste your oil that you've paid good money for to just throw it in your waste oil container? We'll just pour the rest of it in there. Looks like it took about 2 quarts, you know, for a total fill. So if you've got one of these, somewhere around in there. I didn't look at the book. I'm sure it has it in there. Not that I don't read the owner's manuals. I just have worked on engines enough to kind of figure it out on my own, that it's whatever it takes is until it's full. You know, I've read them. Yeah, we're perfect. Right in the middle. So, all right. Well, that's good for that. And what else are we gonna do? We definitely need to sharpen our blades. So let's do that next. All right, guys. We got the blades off of the zero turn and got them into the bench vise right here, tightened down, and ready to go. These got nicked up pretty bad, so I'm gonna put a new edge on there and kind of clean them up and then balance them and get them put back on there. So we're using this 7.5 inch angle grinder with a metal disc on it, and I really like this for doing a lot of grinding work. It's for chainsaws, but it has a nice shield on it and the ear muffs, because this thing can get a little loud. So that's what I'll be wearing. Well, we got the grinder on here and put a nice edge. I just sharpen them by kind of following the original edge, and if you look straight down the blade, you'll kind of see that the angle is above where the lift part is, where it creates the lift for the grass. But so yeah, put a little edge on there. I didn't worry about getting all the little notches out of there. I mean, you could spend all day and wear out your grinder and your blades. But so you want to try to keep the grinding times about equal on both sides, and that'll help keep your blade balanced. So I just use a nail over here that's driven into this post. It's the same one my grandpa has used, and it's the same one my dad uses, and it's the same one I'm using. So here we go. This one makes it a little difficult because it has this extra little notch there, so I'm just going to kind of balance it on that nail, and you can see right in the middle of the blade it's completely balanced. So you just want to make sure that, you know, if it wasn't, it would be, you know, like looking like that, and it wouldn't balance very well. So then you'd take more off of the heavy side, the side that went down. But this one looks good. I got lucky on the first try, so I didn't have to go back and regrind it. So we got 2 more to do, and we'll get back with you when we put them on. So I got the blades back on, all of them balanced and everything, and we're gonna go ahead now and shoot some grease into the Zerk fittings that are on the steering parts here. And I'm just kind of looking for grease to start popping out. There it is back there, so we're good there. And grease up these tires here. There it goes. There we go. I couldn't really find any more grease fittings. There might be one on this little pivot shaft underneath it here. There it is. We'll call that good. Alright, so we'll let's fire it up and take it for a test drive. So let's look and see what it looks like while it's cutting. Looks like we got a little tearing going on. That's old stuff there. Oh, here's some new stuff here. Yeah, there's a new one right there. That looks great. Nice and clean. No ragged cuts or anything. You can see that one right there is pretty clean cut too. Here, that's a fresh one right there. Look at that, it's beautiful. That means we got the blades nice and sharp. Well guys, just want to tell you thanks for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.